where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris.
Hello.
Hello, it is a Merris Monday.
Yeah.
But it's not about anything.
What? What do you mean?
Well, as you all know, I'm a small business owner. Me and Merris both sell our art to make a living, and it's a busy time of year. And I thought we could just kind of shoot the shit, as it were.
Oh, okay.
And talk about... Look, we've done a couple of these before, and people have generally liked them pretty good, where we talk about our personal, weird, paranormal, supernatural, and bizarre experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few we haven't talked about.
Okay, yeah.
So I want to, and this is when I like to open it up too, so you guys listening, if you have any like super weird experiences, then come on Discord.
Mm-hmm. Tell
me about them. I need to hear about your super weird experiences. It gives me life.
Right.
And like I used to have people email me, don't do that, don't, because I'm getting too many emails now, and I can't. It gets sent to junk mail. Email's just not the best way to get a hold of me anymore. Discord is, though, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
I am like always on there, and if you private message me, there's usually not a reason I won't respond. So come share your stories on Discord.
Yeah.
Did you have a ghost in your house? Did you have a demon encounter?
Right.
Did you make out with the ghost?
Did you make out with him? We want to know.
I desperately want to know.
Yeah.
Did you see something strange in the sky?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I want you to talk about, because we've never talked about it, and in fact, we haven't even talked about it that much, like, outside of the podcast, is the UFO sighting you had with Will.
Okay.
So go with that one.
All right. Well, Will is my oldest stepkid, 21. This was approximately, I'd say, 2013, 14, somewhere around there.
It was like the first or second year we lived together.
Yeah. And it was around sunset on the front lawn in Tulsa. And me and Will were out there together, and we both saw white orbs along the tree line. And they were pretty big, and we happened to live around the airport, so we did see airport traffic all the time. But these white orbs were sort of dancing. They were not moving like a helicopter, not moving like a plane. And
there was
like, about 3
like
or 4
90-degree
of them.
turns?
Yes, and they were just zip, zoop, everywhere, all over. And it went on for about 10 minutes, and they didn't go away. They just went below the tree line, so we couldn't see them anymore.
And I believe I was in the shower at the time, and I only caught the tail end as I saw them going over the trees.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, how big would you say they looked in the sky, even though way up high?
They were pretty big.
Like basketball sized?
Yeah, but way up in the sky. Not star height, just...
No, because you could see the trees
yes.
in front of them as the light shone through the trees.
They were going too low behind the trees, and that's how they went away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was real. And they were screaming in the front yard when I went out there for me to get my ass out there and look at it.
Because they were just these white, I guess, plasma balls of light, just sort of dancing around, going all crazy, quite low in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Not a drone.
Under the clouds.
Do you remember when we lived in Tulsa, we woke up in the middle of the night because there was a drone literally hovering in front of our bedroom window?
I don't remember that one.
Yep. And it was buzzing up and down and up and down.
But drones are drones. Like, those can be explained. And
well, I'm just saying, since we've seen a drone, and they make a really loud noise because they, buzz, Yeah. Like little helicopters.
Yeah.
These lights were not drones, is what we were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was really crazy.
I don't remember that particular one. There's just so much that happened that was weird.
The Tulsa house was cursed.
Yeah.
Like, I've been...
I don't know if I told this story. There isn't much to this story, but, like, I was in the living room, and I had a desk, my desk, my computer desk in the living room, and there was a very loud growl.
Like an angry dog.
Yes, but, like, that's it. That's all there is to it. And I looked under the desk. There was no crawl space that it could have been from. It sounded like it emanated from under the desk, and I was right there. There was no, But I've read on Reddit people have experienced that particular phenomenon too. Like I'm not the only
And
one.
I heard it because I was we had like
It was loud
both
as
of our
fuck. It was really unmistakable.
both of our computers were in the living room. I was on the other side, and I heard it, and it scared me.
It wasn't the computer itself. I wasn't looking at anything like that would do that. So
I don't even think you had speakers hooked up.
No, I don't think so. But like it wasn't like an animal in the house or under the house either. It was just like a phantom growl.
And it got to the point with all the activity in the Tulsa house that we just started not giving a shit.
With the point of the growl, I remember not giving a shit and kind of laughing a little because I was like, this is, number one, it's nothing.
You don't remember what you said?
Huh.
That all you got?
Right. I just had enough because a lot of weird stuff had happened at that particular house.
What do you think was your weirdest experience at the Tulsa house?
Probably the straight up ghost I saw.
Yeah.
I know I've told that story, I think.
You can tell it again. It's been like almost 2 years since you've told that one.
Again, there's not much to say on it. I was walking from the hallway into our bedroom, and I moved from the hallway, and I was at the door of the bedroom looking into the bedroom, and there was 2 big picture windows in there, and the ghost was right in between the picture windows. And my eyes landed on a man I think it was a gray suit and a red tie.
Yep.
But by the time I looked up to see the man's face, it was gone. It was that fast.
Yeah. And it's funny, like, that you mentioned that because my grandfather was buried in a gray suit and a red tie.
I assume it was because I didn't get any vibes, neither good or bad vibes. It was just a
weird
dude there, and then he wasn't.
Yeah. And I don't think I've talked about, like, all the experiences of my grandfather haunting my house, but I will really quick. So my grandfather had prostate cancer. It eventually moved to his bones, and he had bone cancer, and he fell and hurt himself and ended up in, like, rehab, and then they were going to move him to basically assisted living, and my grandpa super did not want that. That he would rather be dead.
Yeah.
And so we were talking, and he was telling me that he thought his time was soon. And I was very sad because me and my grandpa were really close. And I asked him, well, if you do die, you got to haunt me. You got to, like, knock over cups and shit and let me know you're around. And so he ended up dying a couple days after that. When they were transporting him to the, like, assisted living, they perforated his bowel and he died.
Right.
And I would say it was about 2 weeks after his death that weird shit started happening that I thought was my grandpa. And I'll give you an example. So my grandfather would come over almost every day, and he would hang out with, like, the kids and me and our dog. And he was just, he just liked coming over. He'd mow my lawn for me, that kind of stuff, any kind of fix-it stuff around the house. And he always brought with him, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Quick Trip. It's usually in the South, like in Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, gas station.
It's a gas station, but they have really good cappuccino. And it was cheaper to get a refill, so he kept the same fucking styrofoam cup. Oh my God, it must have been a decade old.
That's disgusting, first of all.
Oh yeah, he never washed it. It was fucking gross.
That is not okay, Grandpa.
Well, I was in my garage, and I saw that cup. And it hurt. I was sad. Now, this is a garage. It is shut. There are no doors open, no windows, no breeze. And that cup fell over and fell onto the ground and rolled towards me. And I just knew it was him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then, do you remember that incredibly bizarre dream I had where I dreamed that my dead grandfather came to the front door of the house, knocked on the door, and I was like, Grandpa, I was just, like, so happy to see him. And he's like, hey, he goes, there's some bunny rabbits under your car.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, there was bunny rabbits under my car.
There were domesticated. I do remember. Obviously, I remember because I had to catch the rabbits, and they were our pet for a little while.
Yeah, they were very old, so they didn't live very long. And somebody had clearly dumped them.
Yeah, it was a brown one. But not like a wild rabbit. It was like a domestic.
They were, like, floppy-eared rabbits.
And then there was like a white and gray one.
Yeah, spotty.
Yeah.
And they were cute. And we had them. They were just elderly rabbits. So I think we had them about 1.5 years, and then they passed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a weird. I don't like it felt so significant at the time, but when I look back on it, I was like, Grandpa, that was really annoying. Those rabbits were annoying. Rabbits are hard to keep as pets.
Yeah.
We bought a whole hutch for them
Yes,
and
we did.
everything.
Yeah.
Like a beautiful outdoor hutch, and we like made their food and it all the Timothy Hank, my God.
Yes.
Like, don't get your kid a rabbit if you
No.
think it's a hamster, because it ain't.
Nope, it's annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, they need a lot of specialized care. I mean, they were sweet and cute, but like, I don't know,
Right.
it was just so strange.
It was very strange.
But I felt like it was his way of saying hello.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the kids had actually wanted a rabbit pet, so it all kind of weirdly worked out.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite memory of that is Merris has some kind of power over children and animals that if they sit on him, they will pee on him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm not into it.
One time he like tickled John, and John just pissed all over him and farted on him.
Not great.
Not great.
No.
The brown rabbit immediately pissed like buckets. It was more pee than I've ever seen come out of an animal.
Also not great. I hated it.
No, bunnies peed on you several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, just things pee on Merris. We don't know
Please
why.
don't continue the trend.
No, hopefully we're done with that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. What else happened in that house?
Oh,
my
just a lot of.
God.
It was just the whole Tulsa experience sort of traumatized
Cursed.
me a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was cursed. It was so
Yeah.
stressful living there.
It was. Yeah.
Like, because I mentioned the drone. That was terrifying.
Mhm.
Like, who the fuck is flying a drone in front of my house and why? And it wasn't a cheap drone either. It was one of the fancy
I just don't
ones.
remember that incident as much.
It happened.
I believe you.
But it
just
was
lot of
only a
crazy shit.
one-off, and it
Yeah.
only happened one time. And I had just assumed, because I think it happened in like January. I remember it being cold. I just assumed some kids got a fancy Christmas present and were fucking around.
Yeah.
But when we go back and look at like some of the other things that happened at that house, and for example, okay, so when I first moved into the house, Will was about 4 months old. Of course, this is before me and you met.
Right.
And 2 weeks later, my house was hit by a car.
Yes. They got hit by a car again because I was there for that incident.
Well, I'll explain. So I was at the end of a street, literally, and it had no stop sign. And this person fell asleep at the wheel and hit my house going about 65 miles per hour.
Yeah.
It knocked the house off its foundation a little bit. It like broke cabinets inside the kitchen. It folded the garage door like an accordion. It was a
Yeah.
miracle the guy didn't die.
Right.
And it also like totaled my car that was in the driveway. I learned later from like looking at old city records and stuff, the house had actually been hit 2 times prior.
Yeah.
Since it was built in 1954. And so my grandparents petitioned to have a stop sign put at that corner.
Right.
Like at that end of that street. So when Merris moved in, a guy's brakes quit.
Yes.
And he zoomed up over the curb, nearly killed you,
Yes.
and managed to finagle his car just barely in between my house and the neighbor's house.
Yes.
That was so strange.
That was so scary. Yes. Obviously, I was there for that event. Yeah, I almost got creamed.
But what was interesting is that anytime a car hit the house, it wasn't due to like a drunk driver. It was always something weird, like the guy fell asleep. The first time a car hit my house, it made the newspaper, and it had been because the guy's brakes had gone out. So it was like cursed or something.
Yes, for sure. I think that house itself was cursed.
Oh my God. And then all the weird shit that happened in that neighborhood. This is just going to be our stories of the Tulsa house episode.
Yeah, are you going to tell a story about the guy with the chainsaw and
Yes.
the tree?
All right. So if you'll remember, like in the early 2000s, I want to say around 2008. It was 2008, 2007. The horrible ice storms in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I was without power for like over a month and had to live in a hotel. It was terrible. But I remember the night that it happened, I was listening to the ice and I was like, oh, I bet we're going to be without power. And I wake up at like 6 a.m. because there was a deafening boom and then chainsaw noises.
Yeah.
And I look outside and there had been this giant tree across the street. It was a dead tree. And so the ice storm took it out. It had fallen into the road.
Yeah.
And narrowly missing like my neighbor's house. Well, the guy across the street was a weird dude in general. And he was out there not with a big chainsaw, but like a little bitty, like almost like a serrated knife, motorized knife, just hacking away at this tree. And he was like screaming profanities. And so I went outside and I was like, hey, buddy, you doing okay? And he's like, mind your own business. And I was like, damn. And I was like, I don't think that little knife's going to do it. And he was just pissed. So I left him alone. But that guy was never the same after that event.
Mm-hmm.
He would do crazy stuff like put on a miner's hat and cut his grass with scissors real late at night.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Once when it snowed, he built 2 snow forts and had a snowball fight with himself.
I mean, that could
at
be
like
fun.
2 a.m.
That could be fun.
And then he just quit going outside.
Yeah.
And then it was because he was dead in there.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, he had taken his own life because his wife had left him.
Yeah.
And so that was cursed. And so another thing that happened was like about 4 weeks after I moved into that house, a 10-year-old girl was brutally murdered and partially cannibalized. And the guy left her remains in the Salvation Army's incinerator, just not even a block away from the house.
Is that ever something you could be like a true crime about?
I could, absolutely, because
Yeah.
it was believed, like when he was arrested, they suspected him for the death of another young girl who was about 8.
Yeah.
It was so scary.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst things that ever happened.
Because you know people are going to ask you then to cover these cases that were right by your house.
I'm not going to cover somebody's suicide. I think that's gross.
No,
but I will definitely cover that murder case because I think he got the death penalty for that shit.
Right.
Because it was 2 homeless people that caught him.
Yeah.
Excuse me, unhoused people. I think I prefer that term. Personally, it was 2 unhoused people because people would drop off donations at the back of the Salvation Army, and unhoused and poor people would come and pick through it. Yeah. I know, because I did all the time.
Yeah.
And they caught him shoving a child's body into the incinerator.
That's so awful. Yeah.
And I had been driving around with Will in the car. I think I was going to McDonald's to get a Diet Coke because there was one right by the house. And I saw the coroner's truck.
Right.
And I was like, van. And I was like, fuck. But it was just like that. Like everybody who moved in next to me or around me suffered a horrible fate.
I mean, that just could be Tulsa, I don't know. If you
True.
move to Tulsa, you'll suffer a horrible fate.
That's so unfair. Oh, the guy next door.
Yeah.
It was a nice gay guy. And he was like really... Like, he was a mailman. That was his job. And he was a really nice dude. He lived there with a female roommate. And then they had been drinking and driving.
Yeah.
And he was very badly injured. Bad head injury.
Yep.
And he started hoarding dogs and plants.
I remember, yeah.
And being creepy.
He would open his door and I'd see a jungle. Like, so many plants. It was a jungle.
Like, you couldn't walk through it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then his garage was full of dogs.
And their feces.
Yes.
And it stunk.
Yes, and he was not a friendly person.
And he quit bathing.
Yeah.
He dyed
weird. His
hair
hair all crazy.
Yeah, all the time. And he would always, like, come up and talk to us while we were in the car and, like, lean in the window.
Yes.
And he didn't have no shirt on. And he had great
like
big
him.
gauged nipple rings, which is fine. You do you, boo-boo. But, of course, my kids were little and like, what's that in your titties? God, shut up, children. But, yeah, it was bizarre. And then the people next door to me, and now this is a nice neighborhood, y'all.
Yeah, it was a midtown area.
It was a beautiful neighborhood, really nice elementary school there. And some college kids had rented the house next door to me right before you moved in.
Yep.
And they drew a giant dick on their window.
I mean, I appreciate that, honestly.
It was huge, and it was jizzing.
Yeah.
And then they never mowed their yard, so my house got just infested with mice one winter.
Yep.
I killed 13 in one day.
That's so many.
I wanted to move.
Yeah.
Because to me, when the vermin move in, I'm moving out.
Right.
But, you can't look a free house in the mouth. You
No.
know, my grandpa purchased that house for me when I had my son. So, never happier to leave a place.
Right.
It was just bad vibes all the time.
Yes, yeah.
Like, if you were ever home alone, you didn't feel alone.
No.
And, oh my God, the one time I saw the double of our roommate.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard doppelganger stories before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was again, my computer was in the living room. Our roommate, we had converted the garage into an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Poorly, I
Yeah.
would like to add.
We did our best.
We did our best that we could do. And she came in, was getting ready to go to the bathroom. And she went to the bathroom. And then I would say it was about 20 seconds later, I heard the garage door open.
Mm-hmm.
Now, our garage door, no amount of WD-40 could make that thing not squeak and whine when it opened.
Yeah.
And I remembered that when she had come in to go to the bathroom, I didn't hear the garage door open.
Right. She just walked through.
Yes.
Without the squeak.
And usually she would stop and talk to me.
Right.
So I thought maybe she was kind of pissed at me or something. No, instead, she walked in, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
She walked in, but then she walked in again.
Yes, and never came out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I nearly fainted. It scared me to death.
Right. And you're like, what the hell?
Like, where did this come from and why is it
I do
happening?
remember, like, footsteps in the hallway, but,
we
very
heard those
basic
all the
hauntings
time.
like that.
Oh, yeah, the constant footsteps are sounding like somebody was tromping around up in the attic.
Or either the sight or the feeling of a shadow person.
Tons of those.
Yeah.
Cold spots.
Right.
Weird smells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when I had a landline, whenever you would pick it up, even under the dial tone, you could hear click, 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 click. Like if you have never listened to a tapped phone call, that's what they sound like.
Why would anyone tap our
Why?
broke-ass phone, We
It's
ain't
not
nobody.
like I was running a meth empire or like...
No, we'd be richer if we were.
Exactly. Skinnier, too.
Yeah.
And, I didn't understand, because I assumed that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I even thought maybe it was my ex, because he did put, a tracker on my car.
Oh, here's another memory I have. Okay. So standing in the living room, and the living room has a big open window to to the scary road that goes right into our house if you kept going.
Yeah.
It was like a T-shaped road, and we were at the end of a T-shaped road.
Yes.
And it was nighttime, and some car was stopped at the stop sign with the lights shining into the house.
Yes.
And they'd stopped there for 5 minutes past, 10 minutes past. And I'm starting to get fucking annoyed. So I walk in front of the window with the phone to my ear so the person who's in the car shining their lights can see me. And I was dialing 911 and then...
No, we actually called police.
Yeah, because I was like, why is someone just standing at the end of the road with their lights shining into my house? They turned the car. Dun, dun,
very
dun.
moment
It was the police. Yeah.
But it wasn't American police.
It had numbers on the roof of the car. I remember that because you could because the road is a little more elevated so you can see it when they're turning. And the car, the police car had numbers on the roof. And when I looked it up, they said the Tulsa police did not have numbers on the roof.
Only British police do that.
I don't know.
Like European police.
Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe there was just one car they had or something that was like that.
It didn't look like a Tulsa PD
why?
car.
Fucking why? And we're just broke-ass nobodies. Artists. Why all this attention? Was the cops just sitting there staring? I'm not doing anything. I have no drugs. I'm too poor. There is nothing I'm doing wrong.
No, I don't know any secrets.
Every law there is. What? Why?
We're the most wet blanket, stick in the mud, old fogey people you could ever possibly meet.
I don't know. I just don't get it. Maybe they were spying on me. What? Spying on me? Play on being on Facebook? What are you watching?
Exactly. And what he didn't say is that in the weeks prior to that car stopping there, that had happened 18 times.
Yes. The thing is that people had, but it was usually I can see out the window, it's daytime and you can see that, it's a red
they're
car.
Just texting
and
or
somebody's
something.
on their phone texting, which is fine. But no, this was nighttime, so all I could see was the car's headlights coming in.
And y'all, it wasn't no 10 minutes. It was close to 30 minutes they sat there with their high beams on, pointed into our house.
Yeah, it was weird. I just don't understand
And it gave us a bad vibe.
So I called the police, but lo and behold, it was the police.
We called the cops on the cops, but remember when you were on the phone with the police, they said there were no cars in our neighborhood.
I didn't get that far in the phone call. I just
didn't you?
Yeah, no,
it
just started ringing, or I didn't even get a person.
Oh, it was another time we called the cops for that very same thing.
Yeah,
and it was they were going to send a car out, and the minute they said that, the car. It was just a regular car turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called the police a lot in Tulsa.
Yes.
Because there was once, and I don't know if you lived with me or not, but I was in the kitchen and I was just hanging out with my roommate in the kitchen, smoking cigarettes or something, and the back door started rattling
Oh, that'd scare the shit out of me.
and it
I don't
clanking.
remember that.
No, I don't think you lived
I
with
don't think
me.
I
It
was
was
there.
right before,
Hmm.
but it was like clanking, like somebody was using tools to break in.
That'd fuck me up.
Now there was a little like diamond shaped window,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
and like if it had been a person, you could have seen it.
but no, you didn't see it.
And this was not nighttime. It was like 6:30 p.m. in July.
Yeah.
But it was like, and there was kind of thudding, like somebody was pushing their shoulder against the door. So I called the police,
Mm-hmm.
and they had said somebody had tampered with it, but there was nobody there.
That fucked me up.
It
I
did
don't
fuck
remember
me
that. I
up.
must have not been there.
You weren't there yet. The worst one is when my middle kid, Val, was about 10 and was saying that they were having a hard time sleeping because of the faces in the window. Do you remember this shit?
Yeah, I do remember that, but I never seen anything like that out the window myself.
Val said it was a white face,
Mm-hmm.
like a mask.
Like an alien face.
No, like a mask, like an unpainted white mask of a person's face.
Nope, that's very scary.
And it would pop up in the window in the kitchen at night and in their bedroom window.
Yeah.
And you remember this too, like I would not look out in the backyard at night.
Yes, you were very scared of your own backyard for some reason.
It gave me the fucking worst vibes.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be out there at night. I said, I ain't looking out into a darkened backyard.
Mm-mm.
So I got blackout curtains so I
Yep.
didn't have to look
Yeah.
because it scared me so much.
Yeah.
Man, that house.
Right. Now, since moving, like, we have not experienced nearly as many paranormal things, and the things that we've seen were not as scary.
No, like it feels like paranormal things definitely happen in this house, but they seem almost playful or friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Tulsa, it seemed like the house wants me to die.
Right.
The house wants to kill me
Yeah.
and scare me to death.
Yeah.
There were times, y'all, before Merris and before I had a roommate, that the kids would go to their dad's and I'd be alone in the house. And you'd think I'd be like risky business in there with my socks and sliding across the floor and like smoking and drinking. No, I slept in my fucking car because I was so scared of my own house.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It had just, and it seemed like the center of the bad vibes was actually in Will's room.
Yeah, everyone, like, doesn't like that room.
We had a Halloween party, if you
Yeah.
remember.
Uh-huh.
And we had people, as a party game, we turned off all the lights in the house and we asked people how long they could stand sitting in that room.
Yeah.
Not long.
No.
Everyone would just run out of there screaming.
Now, like, for me, I never really experienced paranormal things until I did move to that house in Oklahoma.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember if any paranormal experiences happened, because, like, I grew up Catholic, which is what made me interested in the paranormal in the first place. And the only paranormal experience I remember at all, I didn't really count as paranormal until I got older, because it was such a long ago memory. It was when I was in a crib, and it's like one of my first memories
You must
as a
have been
kid.
like 2.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in a crib, and the room light was off, and my mom had a night light on for me, but it was like a lamp, not like a night light like you stick in the socket.
Yeah, like a lamp with a low wattage
It was a
bulb.
lamp with a low wattage bulb, but that had a ceramic bear and like a nightshade on it. And I remember that there was something that looked like an octopus or a spider on the lampshade blocking out the light. It was all black. It was just like a shadow person, but spider shaped and small enough to fit on this lampshade. And that's the only paranormal memory I have. Like, I remember screaming from my mom, but mom didn't come. And then I have no more memory. And then nothing paranormal in my entire life happened to me ever again until I met you.
Well, you had Pete the Wizard.
Okay, that is a paranormal,
Yes.
but it wasn't like a ghost like these things that happen. Okay, Pete the
It was
Wizard.
stupid.
It was stupid. I'm a trans person, so I used to belong to the Girl Scouts. And all my good memories in childhood are from Girl Scouts. And Pete the Wizard, I guess, I didn't even count it as paranormal, but
It
here we go.
is.
It was a good memory. It's a good ghost memory. And so me and my friend, I think her name was Jennifer or something like that, we made our own Ouija board, as you do in Girl Scouts. And this was like an overnight summer camp. Like, I spent the whole summer, like the whole thing there. And it was just a homemade Ouija board that we made, and I don't know what we used for a planchette, something stupid. And we started talking to ghosts, and the ghost that I got said his name was Pete. And then he went on to say Pete the Wizard, like he spelled it out on the fucking thing. And then I said, Pete the Wizard, if you are real, then make a sign. And literally at that moment, like right in that split second, I saw the biggest shooting star I'd ever seen in my whole life. And it wasn't like across the sky. It was going north-south. So it went from behind me to in front of me.
That's cool.
And it was like a comet. It was like a fireball. And it, like I said, it wasn't like you usually think of it
like
going...
it lit up the whole sky.
Yeah. And you usually think of it going side to side, left to right. But it came up from behind me to in front of me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was the coolest thing. And then I asked Pete the Wizard, what does he want? And the fucking dude spelled out a ham sandwich.
Same, dude.
And that's it. That's the only... That's the whole... Nothing else happened. No, the walls didn't bleed. They didn't tell me to go die.
Pete sounds chill as fuck.
He was the chillest ghost I've ever talked to. And, like, nothing bad happened, ever. Like, that was it.
I would vibe with Pete the Wizard.
Yes.
He could come smoke
I hope
some
he's a
weed
ghost
with me.
that's still around me, because he was rad.
I too want a ham sandwich, Pete
But,
the Wizard.
like, I don't even count that as like a real paranormal experience or something. Like, how does that count? You know?
It counts.
But
It
like, I
counts.
never saw ghosts or anything until I moved in that fucking Tulsa house.
Yeah, and like all the time, people ask me to elaborate on the man in the brown suit story.
Okay.
But
I've never seen him like that. None of that happened to me.
I've only seen him, I would say, 2.5 times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like in person.
Yeah.
I've dreamed about him before or got the vibe he was around. But I'm not going to get into that story today.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah,
Someone requested it, but it's so fucking nuts. And like I went down a weird rabbit hole with it that I just think I ought to leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all have any stories like that you're like, if I even talk about this, it will make weird shit happen?
The only other one that happened to me I could think of happened here.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
And
talking about.
this like, it's not a ghost that happened in the house. Like, we live in the woods in the Ozarks, and before my EDS got really bad, I used to be able to take walks, like just walks around the neighborhood. And I was by myself, and I was at the top of a hill, and this was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and it was like fall because I wanted to see all the fall leaves and stuff. And going from left to right in front of me, when I was standing at the top of the hill, and this was kind of at the bottom of the hill, was a very big white ball, and it had a tail like a comet, and it like gently floated from one side of the tree line to the other side of the tree line, and it probably took about a good 3 to 5 seconds. Like, it was kind of long, and that was it. It was a big white glowing... I thought it was an owl at first, but it was slow. There was no wings, there was no face, no body, and it was a fucking basketball, but it was glowing, and it had like a tail like a sperm.
Like a vapor tail, kind of.
Yes, but the ball itself was solid. It was casting light across everything in the road. Like I said, this was daytime.
It was very bright.
Yes, and then that was it. It was gone. That was it.
And y'all know what's crazy is, like, I heard him, like, I believe Merris. Merris has never been someone to embellish, exaggerate, or lie. It's just not his bag. It's probably because of the autism, I would guess.
Yeah, and I was by myself, so no other witnesses. So, like, all I have is my word.
But it was, like, 2 weeks later, and we were driving to go do something late at night. I don't know, look at bugs. We do dumb shit like that. Or just go to a soda machine. Because there's no gas stations open around here at night. So we'll go to, like, hotel parking lots and use soda machines.
Yeah,
Stupid.
right.
And right over the car went that same thing that Merris described.
Uh-huh.
And I just about pissed myself.
Yeah.
It was a bit bigger than a basketball.
It probably was a little bigger than a basketball, because when
like a
I
beach
saw
ball.
there was a great distance between us. I was on the top of a hill, and it was towards the bottom.
I would say it was about the size of a pretty big beach ball.
Yeah, probably about that size. Yeah.
And it was... The ball part was not translucent. It was solid white.
It was solid white.
It made light, ambient lighting around it on the road, and it was just above my car.
Yeah.
And it had a tail on it, and it did look like a stupid sperm in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Or like a comet, something like that. Yeah.
Like a little comet, but it moved very slow.
Yep.
And when I stopped the car, we even stopped the car and got out to see it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was gone, like it vanished. It was very strange.
Very cool.
One of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my whole fucking life.
For real. Yeah. And then, like, because it's been a few years, and now it seems like it didn't even happen. You know?
Yeah, I feel like it's a weird mechanic of, like, supernatural, paranormal experiences that immediately after it happens, you're like, no, I'm nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to hold on to. It's
Yes.
hard to hold on to the details unlike an event.
I feel
that
stupid
happens.
telling the story. I don't give
Yeah.
a shit if no one believes me,
No.
but at the same time, I'm like, do I even believe myself? You know?
Yeah, but I mean,
And then
we
it's
were
been
there
a long
together.
time since I've seen anything paranormal. So it's like, did I even see the other thing at all?
I tend to have more experiences than Merris does,
Mhm.
but this is a lifelong thing. I've always had a lot of crazy experiences. From everything from seeing my brother's imaginary friend, didn't
Mhm.
like that, to like what I think was possibly like being abducted by aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always had a lot of weird experiences, but I've never really. This is definitely the most people I've ever told. I usually would keep it to like one friend.
I just don't give a shit. Like, I'll tell my stories, but it's like, you're right. I don't have any proof. There is no photos.
No.
All you have is my word.
So when you hear somebody say like, I saw a UFO, and you're like, why didn't you take a picture? Well, I have a story for you just like that.
Yeah.
So used to, when I shared custody with my ex, I would drive my kids to Tulsa, and then I'd drive back alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, just about every time I drove back alone, something fucking weird would happen.
Right.
And this was no exception. I was in the town called Beaver, which is very close to our town. It's by a lake. It's very cute, very in the hills.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasant drive, but it was like probably around 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I see, like, it's like a rave in the sky. It was
Well, I know that the farm is near there.
No, it came up and floated up over the road.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's not
Uh-huh.
the farm.
And it was like your classic silver disc.
Yeah.
It had multicolored lights all around the outside of it,
Yeah.
like blue and green and
Like
red
from
and
Close
yellow.
Encounters or something.
Very much. It looked so like one of those things, and it was just strobing and dooting, and like it had a beam of light that kept like scanning the road.
Oh, no.
And I had my cell phone, and it's the same cell phone I have right now because I'm poor and I don't upgrade my phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, it never occurred to me to take a picture. My first thought was, I got to get the fuck
Well,
on out of here.
I just don't care about proof. Because, like, let's say I do get a really...
Somebody's just going to say you faked it.
Right. You will post it up, post up on the internet and be like, this is it. They're here. I found them, you know.
I found
I
them.
found them.
Just me. Yeah.
No one's going to take it seriously. No one gives a shit. You know,
No.
everyone's going to be like, it's Photoshop, you know.
Like, I remember telling my ex about my fear, and it is a fear. Like, I get night terrors about it sometimes, that I've been abducted by aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it. Here's the only memory I have of it.
Okay.
I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was in my room. I was wide awake. This did not wake me up. I was sitting up in bed. I don't know what woke me up. I just woke up.
The fucking aliens. That's
Probably.
what woke you up.
And then my whole room filled with like electric blue light. And I was delighted by it.
Mm-hmm.
And the light felt warm. And
Yeah.
when it touched me, I started floating off of my bed until I was just kind of floating in the air off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like swam in the air, and I was like laughing. I was having a wonderful time. And then I started feeling like I was being pulled,
Yeah.
like from the center of myself. Like it started tingling on my insides. Not pleasant. Felt like I was like full of pop rocks. And I went through my fucking wall and window.
Wow.
And then I don't remember anything else. And so I've had people say, like, you should get reverse hypnosis.
No, thanks.
Why? To be traumatized? I seen fire in the sky.
Yeah, I've never had anything like that, dramatic to happen to me.
Yes, he has.
I have?
Yeah. Okay, so we hadn't lived in this house very long. I would say maybe a year. And Val was around, I think, like 12 or 14 or something, was going to the bathroom in our hallway, which is right by our bedroom. And they said they saw the whole hallway was filled with blue light. Now, please note, I never have told Val my story about how I think I was abducted by aliens. You don't tell your kids that shit. It'll scare the fuck out of them and they'll never go to bed.
No.
And so they saw what they said was a little person with a big head and black eyes standing in front of our door.
Mm-hmm.
That very night, I had a dream, or what I thought was a dream, that two of the little fucking gray aliens were trying to pull Merris off the bed by his ankles.
See, I know you tell me the story, and Val's told me the story, but I don't have any memory.
Well, no,
not
you
even
were
the
asleep.
ghost of a memory of any of this.
But here's the weird part about it. So in the dream, I got up and started just beating the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Stop, you're hurting us." In my mind. Like, they were talking in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm going to kill you if you don't get out of here."
Yeah.
And then they left.
Yeah.
I remember they just kind of walked out. Like, they went through the door.
Yeah.
And then I just went to bed.
Yeah.
And Val, after seeing what would arguably make me shit my pant, just turned around and said it was the weirdest thing. They just got so tired and just had to go back to bed.
When they saw the
Yes.
creatures. Yeah.
Instead of, like, they were scared,
being
but
alarmed, they just went
to
bed.
sleep.
Yeah, I know I've heard this story, and I didn't know you were going to tell this story, but I just don't have any.
They tried to get him, y'all.
I guess.
And I fucked him
I don't
up.
fucking know. I can't. I don't count it as one of my stories because I don't.
Well,
remember
if
it.
you were an experiencer, that's what they call it. Makes me sound stupid. Just fight them like you're punching. Just punch them, pick one up, beat one with another one.
I don't think that aliens are good. If there is such a thing, I don't think they're any good.
And here's why I don't think these little motherfuckers are any good. Why are you poking and prodding? Why are you kidnapping me? Why not just say, "Hey, Lillian, I really would like your, like, ovaries." I'd be like, "Take them, bitch. I don't want these things anymore. I'm not going to have any more kids, but you are going to give me some dollars."
Right.
Like, if you can fly me through my window.
If aliens are real, could like we get paid to be tested, so you don't have to abduct us anymore?
Go
Like,
right
give me
ahead.
$50 and I'll go.
Probe me right up
Probe
the
me
ass.
right in the butthole.
I'll probably love it. I'm kinky
Right.
as fuck. Let's do this.
I won't, but it's
No,
for
you will
$50
not like
I
that.
will.
You were an exit only type of guy.
Yeah.
But no, hey, I'll peg you. You peg me. We'll have a good night. Give me $50,000 though.
Yeah.
You want my, like, eggs? Sure, but you're gonna pay like a competitive rate, bitch. Because, like, also that makes me think, what are they doing with my stuff?
I don't know.
Do I got a bunch of kids?
I know I don't.
No, you don't got none. Well, you don't even have a uterus anymore.
No, I mean,
so.
I yeeted the uterus.
You yeeted the uterus and you yeeted the teat as well.
Eat the teat, yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I'm serious. Like, if they just would ask my permission, well, okay.
Just give me $50 though.
Yeah, like, slide me a little bread, you know what I'm saying? And then tell me some universe secrets.
Right.
And we're good, homies. You can take whatever you want.
Right.
I don't need any of this reproductive shit.
No.
Have it.
No.
You really want more of me running around?
No.
Wow, fuck off! You wouldn't want another one of me?
Oh man, that might be too much. I don't know.
But I mean, you could have threesomes all the time.
Wow.
I would totally fuck myself. Why
Wow. Okay.
not? Yeah, you knew I was gonna make it weird.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to know if any of y'all out there have had any experiences yourself. I have more stories. If you guys like this sort of thing, we can do, like, one of these every couple of months. I like doing them. I feel like it, I don't know. I think it explains why me and Merris are so interested in the paranormal.
Well, like I said, I had that one experience in the crib, and then I had nothing for 30 years until I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
And then it just was...
And
And
then
in
it got real
Tulsa, it
weird.
was every day.
But it was always bad. It was always the worst. There's random werewolves under my desk. I don't know.
Werewolves.
There was werewolfuses under my desk, and I couldn't see them, but they're there.
And they growling. They don't like me.
It was just that one time. I was like, no, I think it actually happened twice. I lied.
Well, and then there was, like, I guess the hellhound that was in the house. So I wonder if that was it.
No, I don't. What hellhound? Were you talking about Bunny?
No. In the Tulsa house, there were, like, something tried to scratch my doorknob off, and it was those giant panther claw marks in the wall.
But that was before I moved in.
Yeah, but I'm just saying maybe that was the growl, you know?
I guess, but it was like an incorporeal hellhound.
It wasn't nice.
No.
But, man, and we do have picture evidence of some of this shit, but, like, who cares?
It's just like you'll see like a door with like fucked up scratches, but like
But you could say I did that myself.
could say you did it with
know?
a screwdriver, right? Or
Why would I
something.
fucking... It does not look like it was done with a
No, but I
screwdriver,
mean,
but
it's
yeah.
just a photo of a shitty door.
Yeah, it's a photo of, like, bitch, what did you do to this door? You know? But it does look like a lion tried to get into the bathroom.
Yeah. But that was
Teeth
before I moved
gouges.
in, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember showing those to you because you were just like, I told you all these stories before you moved here because I felt like I was doing my due diligence.
Well, I just I don't know, like I didn't believe or disbelieve. It's just that's what you felt like happened, you know?
Yeah, but then I made you a believer, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because there was werewolves under my desk.
Well, and you saw shadow people and
Yeah.
ghosts and aliens.
And
the footsteps, the weird cars.
The car that almost smashed into me, yeah.
Yeah, and then, of course, you had the line clicking whenever you'd pick it up.
Right, well, we got cell phones right after that, so fuck
Maris
that.
made me get a cell phone, yeah. He was like, well, I can't record you on that then.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure they can.
But it doesn't matter, we won't be bothered.
But I don't have to hear it and be scared.
Right.
Because it did scare me.
I mean, yeah, I just don't get... Okay, so what if it was the fucking police?
Or the CIA. That's what I was thinking, maybe. Because I'm an experiencer.
The
CIA...
We're boring and nothing is happening to us. We're just eating spaghetti dinner and going to work. Like, who cares?
Look, we're banging a lot. Maybe they're perverts.
Go watch porn. It's free.
It is free. You could just Google it. Literally Google
Right.
porn. Oh, my God. One of my kids did that. And I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
I was like, you just fucking Googled porn?
Are
you 4? Child. Why? Huh?
Idiot child.
Idiot child. But yeah, I want you guys, if you have any cool haunting experiences, but I want weird shit, okay? Not
I want
like
the walls breathing.
Yeah, like a werewolf under your desk type of shit. I don't want this, like, the curtain rustled. We all know ghosts rustle them curtains. They really hate curtains, I guess. Because, y'all, I'll tell you one last one, and I've never told anyone this, and this is kind of embarrassing. I mean, you were there, so you know what happened. So, Maris, is it easy for me to fall asleep?
No, God, you need a crowbar upside your head.
All my life, I got diagnosed with insomnia at 6 months old. I've been on I've been on an Ambien, I've been on Xanax, I've been on Trazodone. They can't get my ass to fall asleep. Mm-hmm. I just have to really wear myself out through the whole day. I don't know why I'm like this, whatever. It never happens that I can just lay down and instantly fall asleep. But this night, I suddenly felt like all of my life energy left my body. And I just kind of straight up passed out. I was not on drugs.
Yeah.
And I saw a man in the room. I couldn't tell if I was dreaming or asleep or what. But he came closer to the bed and he was indistinct. Like, he wasn't a shadow person, but my brain just couldn't make sense of it. Mm-hmm. And he leaned over me, and he swatted me on the ass and pinched it real hard. And then I just, like, remember, I shot up out of the bed.
Yeah,
like,
I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, Ghost, that's going to cost you. You're already in my house not paying rent.
$50. You know that's the going rate.
You think my ass only worth $50?
No, I mean, but I was thinking about for me.
Oh, you'll let them grab your bottom.
Yeah, give me $50 and you can grab my butt.
Also, that's the hidden tier.
Well, yeah, there's also, never mind.
On our Patreon, that if you pay Maris, how much was it?
I don't know, it's like $1,000. I'd take a picture of my butt for you.
Yeah, and I'd make it real artsy, like the rays of the sun are shining on his fuzzy butt hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think 1 foot, you'll charge like $100.
500, it's half.
Oh, okay. For a foot.
Yeah.
And he'll like step in pudding too,
yeah,
like if you want that. Yeah. Well, that's awful. Hey, guess what's not awful?
What?
A business time.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, y'all. The place that hosts our t-shirts, that makes our t-shirts for us, is having a big sale. So if you want to go and grab you a hoodie, a mug, a tote, a t-shirt, now is the time. You will find all of this in our link tree, which will be in the description of this podcast. You can also go to our Discord from there. It has the invite link that never expires. You can join our Discord. If you're confused and you're like, how do I do a Discord? Get a teenager to help you. Mm-hmm. They know. They
also got a podcast called Reality.
Explain it to us, Maris.
Oh, well, if you like me for some reason, you can hear more of me. And for a while, I'll be talking about Sister Wives, this fucking reality TV show. And after I'm done with this season of Sister Wives, I'll watch something else.
Do we know what we're watching next?
Probably 90 Day Fiancé, the first season.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so
I fucking hate that shit.
You can listen to me at Reality.
Yeah, and the links to that
are somewhere.
Will be down below as well.
Yeah.
I'll link to the first episode, the most recent episode, which will be like releases on every Monday, just like Merris Mondays.
Just Monday, you think of me.
Well, it's Merris Monday.
Yeah.
It's Merris flavored.
You can get all kinds of me on Monday.
You can.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Let's see. We got a Patreon, and I just like I'm uploading it after recording this. I'm now doing the $1 tier. Once or twice a month, you'll get a 15-minute to 20-minute case where I run into these all the time. There's just not enough material for a full episode, and it sucks because some of them are really interesting. Yeah. And I covered the case of Sharon Lopatka, and this is a case of consensual homicide, and it's real fucked up.
Yeah, it's true crime, like donut bites, like the
little snack bites.
Little snack bites.
Yeah, of horrible, disturbing, fucked up shit.
What's wrong with you that you like that?
I don't know. And the next one I'm covering, and I'm probably going to cover it in about a week, is the disappearance of Jason Landry. He was a college student, and he was coming home for, I guess, the semester break. He gets out of his car for reasons unknown, takes off all his clothes, and is never seen again.
I feel that. I'm like that guy. I'll go nude into the woods and never to be seen again.
You will not.
Oh.
You often say when I threaten to leave you in the woods, you're like, please no, wife.
Well, no, because there's stuff out there. I've seen it.
Yeah, and there's not a wife making you delicious cupcakes and ramen.
And I need that.
Yeah, I made fancy ramen tonight.
Yum.
But yeah, join our Discord and we can trade recipes. Girl, listen, I've gotten some amazing recipes on there.
Yeah. And
I'm saying girl to the collective teabag audience.
Don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying girl to you.
Whatever.
But, I don't know, because I see my demographics, and I'm not saying we don't have dudes listen. We do, but not many.
Shout out to that one guy.
We got a dude in Discord now.
Well, I know there's at least one cool dude, he's on my Facebook. I don't know if I shout him out. But...
Scott?
Yeah, I love him.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Yes. Scott is a very cool dude. Yeah. But I don't think he's in Discord, but he is on our Facebook. Yeah, but hey, and if you want to friend me on Facebook, I mean, I don't know why you would, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Unless you're a dude. I don't typically accept friend. But just if you send me a message, I listen to your podcast, I will accept your friend request.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please have a safe holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. And if you're around a bunch of horrible racists, maybe just don't. Don't be around them. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Do your own thing.
Not literally.
Oh, no, God. That's Alabama.
Well,
Arkansas gets the incest rap as well for some reason.
Yeah.
Awful. Anyway, goodbye.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.